5 years from now, 80% of the jobs will go.
Is MBA necessary to become a leader or manager?
I don't have MBA graduation. I've been a leader for last at least 15 years. I have total of 28 years of experience.
The complete Amazon and the complete Google can be transformed by a single person, which is a safe trader.
With the knowledge of AI and getting into a Scrum Master role and then go up in the leader role, they probably earn more than a doctor. I have transformed many leaders in the organization, right from CEO all the way till first line managers.
And we're talking about like convincing the CEOs of these big companies to transform 7,000 people.
Yeah. I had a half an hour meeting with the CEO of one of the companies, right? And then he got curious. I said, sir, if you really want to know, half an hour is not enough. Are you ready to spend with me 4 hours? He said,
You do MBA because you want to become a manager or you want to become a leader. But let me clarify, MBA is only not the way. There are several ways that you don't know about. And today, I have brought one of the Asia's top 7 safe trainer in entire Asia Pacific. And we're going to talk about the fields that you have never heard about and the field that pays good. So without wasting time, I would like to introduce our guest. So sir, how are you doing, and thank you for being here.
I'm great. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it's
Sir,
my pleasure being here.
so the very first question, is MBA necessary to become a leader or manager?
Okay. It's a myth. I don't have MBA graduation. I've been a leader for last at least 15 years, 15, 17 years. I have total of 28 years of experience. And the last 15 years, I've been a very successful leader. And I have transformed many leaders in the organization, right from CEO all the way till first line managers, right? So I'm not an MBA graduate. While I say that, I'm not an MBA graduate, I'm not saying that MBA is not required. MBA is not the only way, right? MBA is a classroom that you learn certain concepts, but leadership is a quality. Leadership is a behavior. Leadership is a persona. Your attribute, behavioral attribute. So it has to be built. It has to be. You have to train yourself and to become a good leader, right? So MBA will give you maybe a small portion of that. It will help you, but an MBA need not be the only solution for it.
So sir, what was your first last education and what was your first job? And how exactly it ended up becoming a trainer, and that's so like Asia's top 7. So how you ended up being like, I seriously want to know the journey, because a lot of people, they don't know the pathway itself. They only know the classic way that I want to get a college degree, I want to be masters maybe, and I want to grind myself just by switching companies.
Mm.
But they don't know ki out of the corporate, but still connected to the corporate, there are ways that they still can be a leader and make people leaders.
Mm.
So I just want your journey and how you graduated and how was your first job and what role you were in,
Yeah,
and how gradually increased and how you ended up being a trainer.
absolutely. Yeah, sure. So I was brought up in a small town, in fact, right? Which is not even a tier two, tier three city. It's a town, and I did my BSc in mathematics, and then I did my MCA, my master's in computer applications, and then I became a software engineer. I came to Bangalore in '97, uh, and I became a software engineer. And one thing, Nitish, there is no shortcut in life. It's a hard work, and your sincerity, your commitment takes you a long way, right? That's what has taken me wherever I am today. So right, so it's 27 years that I've been in the industry. I started working as a software engineer, day in day out, lot of technologies, right? And change. At some point, I got a chance around 2003 or four. I got a chance to play a role of a leader, a team leader for a small team of 3 or 4 people, right? And I was the first person to get at a younger age in my team, in my organization, because because of the hard work, the sincerity. The leaders saw me that this guy has a potential, right? And they started grooming me, right? And they started grooming me. They started supporting me, and you will fail in the journey, right? You'll learn, right? There's so much of learning happened. Then I did my MS, right? I did my MS in bits, and I want to be a much more a professional and a leader. And then I did my MS, and that helped me. and I continued in a engineering leader role, right, till 2010 or 2011. I was an engineering leader. I was managing a large team in Intel. I was an employee for 10 years in Intel, and between 2005 and 14, and I was managing a team of 50, 60 people, and it was managing a product and a team in Intel is not a joke, right? It was tough, but I truly enjoyed. And that is where i I got a chance where the organization was transforming to Agile, right? And I did not know what is Agile. And I I was, as part of the journey, I was an engineering leader on the other side, looking at the, helping the teams to move. Like, okay, my teams can move to Agile. And one fine day, the head of transformation for Intel Security, he spoke to me, looking at my interest and my passion. He said, "Why don't you come here and you drive the transformation for the company?" So I became a responsible person for transforming 1,800 people, right, in Intel. It was great, in India Center of Intel Security. Without knowing much about Agile, I was given a role. I did a lot of study. I read 40 books. I probably watched from 2,000 videos, right? I figured out all possible ways to learn, and I became, I learned Agile thoroughly, right? And then I became very, very strong. This is when this framework called SAFE also was introduced. There's a big difference between Agile and SAFE, Agile and Scrum and SAFE, I would say. Like, Agile is a mindset, and Scrum is a framework that implements this mindset, right?
So I'll be having one question. So basically, what exactly I have seen people in organization like you being a dedicated person, you always learned, you did your hard work, you study, you figured out. But I see a problem in the market where there are a lot of people, for example, they are working for a company for 4 to 5 years or 3 years.
Hmm,
After that, they cry
hmm,
like, I have dedicated my 3 years to this company, still I am not getting a promotion.
hmm,
This is a common problem.
hmm,
So I must have seen like you being into the industry and training thousands and lakhs of people. So like, so how exactly is what exactly should be the person's mindset
hmm,
and not getting this kind of channelization and things into the head ki yaar dekho, this is not the way,
hmm.
right? Because a lot of people have seen, just because they consider if I am in a company for 3 to 4 years, then I should be eligible for getting a promotion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll start with my own career change, right? And that'll probably give a bit of answer, and then let's go a little deep on it.
uh,
So when I was managing a team of 60, 70 people, I had two options. One of the option was, hey, pick another 70-member team. I'm talking about 2010, right? Another 70-member team, because the leader of that group is relocating to US, and there was no leader in that time. So, do you want to pick this kind of a team? One option where I would become a leader for 150 people, close to, right? That's an option. Second option is head of transformation who's reporting to CEO of Intel Security. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to become an individual contributor and then drive a transformation?" Where I was a leader, right? I was leader managing a large teams. I had a lot of experience in managing teams. Now it's a power versus trying out something new,
exactly.
right? So now a typical human, the psychology of human is that, no, let me go this path, right? Whatever reason, I made a decision of going the second path. Let me step out and be out of my comfort zone. I did not know Agile. In leadership side, these teams are the ones who was hired by me. Every person in the team of these 60 people were hired by me, and they're my team, right? I had a solid, what do you say, a team to manage. I don't have to do, hands-on work, right? So you're in a comfort state. Yeah, things are good, but I challenged my own, status quo. I challenged my own comfort zone. I said, let me step out, let me learn something new. And see, I became an individual contributor. In fact, I moved out of my seat, manager seat, and came to individual seat. I was okay with that. A lot of leaders around me who were looking up to me throughout this my stay, they came and asked me, like, are you stupid, right? Because you are
Exactly.
you are moving like this, right? I said, I don't know, right? That time, actually, I did not know. But the thing is, like, I wanted to try out. How many people are ready to try out something beyond the boundary, right? And that'll take you. So now for 14 years that I built a skill, right? Some technical skill and managerial skill. I learned Agile in 2011. I started a company in 2015 purely on Agile and skill Agile. And the last 10 years of my life is based on a skill that I built after 14 years. Completely
That's
new skill.
amazing. And sir, like now, for the viewers, they must be having confusion. I know you guys have confusion, and I have the perfect guy for the answer. You must be thinking what exactly we are talking about. What is this agile and safety and all? So I will ask sir to answer this. So like, so just explain in a very layman language, sir, ki what is safe and what is agile. We'll start with agile
Agile.
because agile is classic. Because a lot of people I know are still in the industry as a scrum master and agilist, and they still don't know how to, you know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this term Agile and Scrum was introduced in 97 when I started my career. It's 27 years now, right? Scrum is a very simple agile framework. Agile is not a framework. Agile is not a methodology. Agile is a mindset. How do I behave, right? Do I behave in a very traditional way, or do I behave in an agile way, right? In a in a product development as a team. Are we building a product very often? Are we releasing product very often with high quality and being predictable? This is a big question that in the industry, right? So just to add a little more story about it, right? How industries revolutions happened, right? Let's take
Exactly.
some 2 3 revolutions.
Exactly.
Like you take a for example a car manufacturing industry,
Hmm.
right? uh, we live for millions of years. Human exists for millions of years, right? We have gone a great a way of we have come a long way. However, it is only 130 years that the vehicle is our machine is a transportation vehicle. Before that, it was animal. It was a
Correct.
camel. It was a horse. It was a donkey. It was something, right? So it is only 130 years that we are living in a world where a transportation vehicle no, is a mission which is
Exactly.
not it's a thing. It's not a living, right? And it's not an animal. So that's a transformation. Now if you look at that industry, it evolved. It had a lot of problems, right? 130 years back, if you need to buy a car, you should be a good driver, you should be a good mechanic, because your car may stop anytime.
Hmm.
But today it is not the case. Industry has evolved, right? That was a transformation. That was a revolution. Now that revolution stayed for 100 plus years,
Correct.
correct? And it has changed industry,
Hmm.
right? Now, if you look at the second, the big change that happened was the software, digital age, right? It
Correct.
started way back in 1970s, right?
Correct.
People started building computers in 1970s, and they started, started thinking that hey, we should move away from the paperwork, right? We should have a software which can help us. It is now 55 years, right? Software digital age is going, right? 50 plus years, and it will go for another 20, 30 years, right? Now the new era called AI has started now.
Correct.
So if you look at these revolutions, every revolution has stayed for 50 years or 100 years, right? This new revolution called a technology revolution called AI, right? Artificial intelligence will stay for at least 30, 40 years,
Correct.
right? Now, why I'm saying this is things keep changing, and it is the timeline is also coming down less,
Correct.
right? 100 years of manufacturing industry,
Correct.
now 50 years of digital age,
Correct.
right? This may be 20 years, 30 years. We don't know, right?
Correct.
But
Correct.
definitely it will be 20, 30 years. Now, if somebody is a 3 years experience person, the 3 4 5 years experience, now you have to be in the space for 25 years, 30 years, right?
Correct.
I may
Correct.
retire in 10 years, yeah.
Correct.
But
Correct.
if you're a fresher, or if you're 3 years experience, you will work for at least some 20 plus years.
Exactly.
Now, if you have one skill, it will not help. When
Hmm.
I was a developer, having C++ knowledge in a programming was good enough.
Oh yes.
Today, there are hundreds of technologies.
Exactly.
So fast. We are very restless for whatever reason. The world is super restless. Now, are you ready for that? Are you ready to build your technical skill very strong? Number one. Are you ready to take a challenge like what I was giving an example? Like, I will try something new, right? I will not go behind where 1,000 people are going. I will be unique for myself. If I want to become a leader, can I try a servant leadership, right? Can I become that? And number three, can I also be very strong in AI, because that's going to drive very long way, right? That's a future. Whether we like it, we believe it, that's going to be the future. Now, are you building yourself for your future, right?
Exactly.
For that, this so-called agile, right? The fundamental agile is a behavior. Scrum is a framework. It's a fantastic framework. It's a very proven framework. However, the challenge that we have is 27 years of Scrum existence. Even today, I don't see an excellent Scrum team. I have done a transformation for so many companies. I learned in Intel. When I moved out from 2015 till now, I worked with companies like Target, eBay. I went back to Intel for some time. I was with Siemens, I was Bosch, with IBM, and uh, at least a dozen large companies that we worked with, and we are seeing that in the last 10 years. To be frank, Nitesh, that nobody called me saying that we don't know agile. Every company is agile, but they don't know what is it. They mess up a
Exactly.
lot, right? And even today, organizations, they call themselves as agile, but they are not. They are too far from agile, right? There are many reasons why they fail, right? Leadership is not involved, leadership's commitment. There are many reasons. One of the primary reasons that in my experience that I've seen is there is a role called scrum master, right? This role is a very critical role, right? When I coach the organization, I coach scrum masters first, right? See, there are levers in the organization that will move the organization, right?
Correct.
One of the critical levers of the organization is a scrum master,
Mhm.
right? So scrum master's job is to implement agility at work. Make sure my team is agile. Team is able to release a product very fast, right? I'll give you an example. If you have a habit of having a tea in the morning, first thing,
Correct. Yeah.
right? So say 6 o'clock, you take tea. If the supplier who supplies milk to you, if he says, "Hey, I'll give you at 7:30," are you okay with that?
No.
Absolutely no. Even for a small cup of tea, customer is not okay with the supplier's timeline.
Mhm.
Customer is only okay with customer's timeline.
Exactly.
Now, in a software industry, how many times we release a product based
Mhm.
on customer's demand? Now, Agile will bring that. Now, that's the role of a Scrum Master, to make sure the team is able to deliver very high quality product on a timeline given by the customer, and incrementally every day. You don't deliver a milk once in a week. We deliver milk every day. If you want twice, we'll deliver milk to you twice. Customer demand. Now, this is agile, right? Now, how many Scrum Masters, even how many leaders know that this is agile? Right? They think, okay, we put them in 2 weeks of sprint. There's something called sprint, right? It's a way of execution. Oh, we are in 2 weeks of sprint, 3 weeks of sprint. We are agile. No. So the role called Scrum Master is a vacuum today. It's a fantastic role, but really under respected. I would say no. They are not respected high because they don't know their role. They don't do the right job, and they mess up, right?
And sir, how exactly anybody can become a scrum master? And what exactly is the background that anybody, obviously I know there is a big market gap and because there is a big knowledge difference,
Absolutely.
because people actually don't understand.
Hmm.
And they still, I have met couple of people who are scrum masters, and people would like to know, okay, fine, if even I want to become a scrum master, what exactly should be the background,
Hmm.
and how exactly I can prepare for this role, and what exactly I can expect from the industry, and what exactly, because we know ki if somebody is into agile and become a scrum master, they still have another leap, because
Absolutely.
that is going to take, we're going to talk after that, but the thing is that is more exciting. But so like if anybody is there who is, for example, 0 or 1 year experience, or
Hmm.
technical or non-technical, or 5 years experience, how exactly he can prepare to become a scrum master?
Sure. Scrum Master is a behavior. Scrum Master is not a technical skill. Like, if you're a Java developer, a C++ developer, or if you're a, Angular JS developer, it's a development job. It's a technical skill. Scrum Master is a behavior attribute, right? Somebody who wants to become a leader, right? I want to become a leader over a period. I see myself 10 years from now, a great leader managing a large team, right? Scrum Master is a servant leadership role, right? Which means that you don't have a power, but you have a responsibility as a leader to drive your organization. Your organization is your team. I'll drive my organization. I'll drive my people. I'll facilitate. I'll coach. Scrum Master is a facilitator. Scrum Master is a coach. Scrum Master is a friend. Scrum Master is a agile domain expert. Scrum Master is a trainer. All these. Now, Scrum Master, in short, is a master of Scrum. right? Somebody who wants to become a leader down the line, it's a great opportunity to practice the leadership skill. Imagine you are a scrum master and you have a team of 7 people. Now the team's value delivery to customer in your hand, but
Yeah,
there
agree.
is no power. You're not a manager of the team, right? You don't have a power, you don't have appraisal of these people in your hand. But
Uh,
so that will test your ability as a leader. Now how do I work with them, how do I collaborate with them, how do I being a friend, how do I still get the work done?
Everybody who is working in some team right now, they will be like, remove the manager. I want a scrum master because he can't come to me and say, oh, do this, do that. What is this scrum master thing? Bring it to the team. I don't
Yeah.
want a manager. I want a scrum master.
Yeah, it's a in my view, it's one of the great roles, right? It is not really, um, uh, it's not it's not rightly done. Because of that, the industry has not, it doesn't have great respect. But I have seen a great scrum masters, right, who became an enterprise coach over a period 5 7 years later. I've seen an enterprise coach, right? When I met this person first time, he was not even a scrum master, right? And no, because of the effort they have put in, because of the interest they've shown, because of their behavioral attribute, right? Continuous learning. It needs some. See, I told you, right? Life is not. No, there is no shortcut in life. It's a
Exactly.
continuous effort. How much of do I read every day an hour? Right? Do I to prepare myself as a leader? It's not an easy thing, but it'll take you a long way, right? So somebody with 3 4 years 5 years experience want to try out, I think scrum master is a fantastic role, right? And you should try. While trying a scrum master, the fundamental challenges today that I see with scrum masters are, they think once I become scrum master, I don't need to upgrade my skills. My job is to just
Mm,
set up some meetings, right?
mm.
Facilitate some meetings and that's it, right? Nothing much. So when you don't add a value, obviously organization looks at you as a not asset. It's a liability, right? You are a liability for the company. So to build that, you have to be very strong. First, there are a couple of things that a scrum master should really go very deep. One is, are you a very good scrum master? Are you a master of scrum? Do you know
Sir,
scrum very well?
I see a gap here also. So, for example, if I'm an expert in making a tea,
Mm,
right, then only I can just expect someone to make a tea that way.
mm.
So I even feel this gap in the companies in India right now also,
Absolutely.
because even the companies doesn't know what exactly I'm supposed to do with the scrum master. And because they don't know, because I've seen a lot of problems where exactly people are into a position, but the thing is company don't know what exactly are their care is and what exactly I'm supposed to get out of this guy.
Yeah.
But they have that position for some reason.
Yeah.
So I guess even companies needs to get trained on this.
Absolutely.
Ki boss, this is how, because you all or you also train companies, right? I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And you do it all like all over. I know you train like US also, you in India also. So even the industry, the people who are watching this, and even you are a CEO or director of any company, you have your own startup also. Even for the startup also, the people need to understand key, you need a certain way of running things, and agile is the way,
Absolutely.
because it's a continuous delivery process.
Absolutely.
And because the organization doesn't know how to utilize a scrum master, the scrum master doesn't know what to deliver.
Absolutely. So I'll give you some couple of case studies in very short, right? So that you understand the power of agile. A company, a product line which was releasing once in 2 years, because we moved them to agile, they started releasing every 2 weeks. So you can imagine, once in 2 years, which is like 52 plus 52, like 104 weeks to 2 weeks.
Mm,
It is that fast, 50 times faster, right? And in fact, their goal is to release every day. It took 3 years, 2 years for them right now, for them to reach from that to this. But before that, they could never reduce the 2 years to even 1.5 years. This is the power of agile. So the agility is a business agility. The customer should say you are agile. Not that I
exactly.
will say that my teams are agile. My customer should tell you that, oh, I want to work with these teams, right? They are great, right? They are able to release, right? Predictably when they commit their release. Number one. Number two, whenever they release, it's a great product. I'll tell you example. You buy a toothpaste, buy a toothbrush, and there's too much of a salt in that toothpaste. Are you expected to call a customer care and then log a complaint? What you will do? You'll throw the toothpaste. You buy another company.
Exactly.
Customer will throw you like that.
Exactly.
right?
So it's more important for the company than it's important for this company.
Exactly. Organizations should realize that we are so called agile, but we are not business agile.
Exactly.
There is a term called business agility. My customer should tell, we release customer product on time. Every time we release a great product quality, I reduce the timeline from X to X by 50, X by 100, right? So it is possible, right? For example, Amazon is releasing thousands of times a day, thousands of times a day. You can imagine, lakhs, not even thousands. It may be 2 lakh times a day,
And that's
right?
why like big
That
companies
is agile.
actually require
Yeah.
agile
So
framework.
exactly. So for that, leaders have to get trained. So there are organizations where we have implemented agile and scaled agile. We have started with the leadership because the leaders need to understand that hey, this is what is agile, and I need to support in this way. When I was an engineering leader, when somebody came and taught my teams, I went and sat in the training way back 2009. Right, as an engineering leader, I understood there are many leaders did not go. That is where I picked it up. Oh, this is a great
This is
thing.
a habit. People
Exactly,
think that they know everything.
exactly, right.
And so like there is something called like for example, if somebody wants to get into this position and want to get ready, obviously he needs to understand agile and framework because it's a behavior,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so like what else parameters that he can jump onto? Like for example, there is something called CST also.
yeah,
I know you didn't go for it.
yeah.
And
By choice.
by choice, I know. And you went for safety because I am saving that for the end because I know
Sure.
that is amazing. So like, so what is the CST also, sir? And how exactly people can reach here also?
Sure,
And then my favorite part, like we'll go directly to Safi.
sure, sure. So, um, from let's take from Scrum Master point of view, right? If I need to learn Scrum, the basics of Scrum, there are certifications available. There is something like a CSM, PSM. There are multiple certifications, right? CSM is Certified Scrum Master, Professional Scrum Master. All these courses are like 2 days courses. It gives you a very basic introduction to Scrum, right? The certification name is called Scrum Master, but it is more of Scrum, right? Basics of Scrum. It's a good course. However, it doesn't give you in-depth knowledge, hands-on experience and knowledge for you to become a good Scrum Master. It just gives you an entry to okay, this is what I know now, basics of Scrum, right? Is that enough? Is that required? Probably it will help you. Is that enough? Absolutely no. Now, if somebody wants to be very successful in this journey, the CST that you called out is a trainer who trains people on this. Somebody who's very experienced, has done a lot of work, done a lot of trainings. They become a CST, right? And they conduct these trainings. So they conduct all the Scrum trainings, for Scrum masters, product owners, for teams, and so on. So now, a Scrum master want to grow in this, right? Getting a 2 days training is okay, but need to have hands on. So what we are doing is, right, we have started with this because I've been seeing this challenge in the industry. So me and the colleagues of mine, like we're all very expert consultants. We're not a training company, we are more consulting company. We did a very big transformation, right? uh, we have trained around 20,000 plus people on agile, and together like 10 15,000 people on safe. However, I still claim myself as not a trainer but a consultant because I define my role as a surgeon who do a surgery in the weekdays, but
Mm,
I also I'm a professor in the weekend teaching classes. Right? So my classes are to teach how to do a surgery, not a theory class. I don't teach you like how to take a deep breath and jump into water, you swim. I will be with you when you swim, right? that
exactly.
is that is what is hands on. So we have come up with a great course, uh, called a Scrum Master Boot Camp with AI ability, AI Scrum Master Boot Camp, right? So the objective of this is to enable Scrum Masters to be very powerful in their role, right? I am personally going to conduct I'm conducting right now, uh, at least a 30 to 40 hours of class, that where we go in depth on agile, which is 27-year-old story,
Mm,
on Scrum, which is that long story, like it's not new, but people don't know. So I take every element of agile and Scrum, go deep with a practical experience.
exactly.
How do you implement this? There is something called sprint planning, there is a daily stand up, there is a review, retrospective. Now it's a theory. Now how will you do it? Your team doesn't know, and you are expected to know thoroughly so that you teach the team, you coach the team. Now we handhold them for 32 hours of training. Once that is done, what I also do is we help them by giving a lot of scenarios, right? Scenario based situations, like, how do you manage this scenario?
Because that's a classic project basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, that you
And give you
cover.
a bunch of projects and say that scenario is you're a scrum master, your leader is like this, right? And your leader stops. What would you do? You're a scrum master, one of your team members always resist
Hmm.
because it's a behavior, right?
Exactly.
See, agile is a behavior. So not everybody will be agile. Somebody wants to be a traditional. I don't want to change myself. Now
Correct.
that person is part of your team. Now how are you going to behave? Now this is what is missing in the industry today, right? A theory is taught, right, but we don't know how to really implement. So we are addressing that, right? I will give them hands on, and I'll give you an example. This is what a scrum master in this company did. This is what I did in that company, and this is what we got results. Now can you learn? This is what even we failed. I failed 10 years back. You don't fail, right? You learn from my failure. It's important that failure is part of life, nothing wrong in it.
And classic bloopers, even like 2 years before, that's where exactly I got my stuff done. So basically, when people ask me, so Alex, where exactly you learned all the stuff from? So basically, I just got myself also into Scrum from Sir only, because I've been following Scrum Sir for like a very long time, and like for 2 years back, 2 years back, I'm connected, and I learned my CSM from him, and that's why exactly I learned how exactly important this is,
Yeah.
right? And so the most important thing was people are gonna ask, right? How much exactly a scrum master earns, because that's a classic, uh, thing. Like people get stuck on money, like how much exactly I'm going to earn as a scrum master, or if I become a CST, how much exactly I'm going to earn.
Mm.
So like what exactly is the category they make?
Yeah, let's start from Scrum Master. Right, it's a range. It's not. It's neither. It's never fixed. The reason is because I have come across like thousands of Scrum Master in my career. Like you get to meet a lot
Yeah.
of people. We coach hundreds of teams. So every team has a Scrum Master, right? So I have seen people on both the end of the spectrum where somebody who's just okay, I'm forced to do, let me do that, right? I have very very basic skills, and I can be thrown out anytime, right? I tell them that, guys, such people, I tell them that go buy a farming land because
Mm,
you don't have a career here, right? Let
exactly.
me be very clear with you, right? Because this is not the way to live in this world. Because
Mm,
your digital age itself is fast. Now AI age is going to be even more faster. No, you cannot get stuck saying that, okay, I know I'll do this job, and somebody will
exactly.
give. So such community doesn't get much salary. Another extreme that I have seen is amazing scrum masters. Very handful of people that I have seen that they are so good. Some of them I told them, man, you're a role model, man. It's great, right? As to see a scrum master like you, right? They're so good. They learn every day. They implement. They practice. They're okay to fail. They've transformed the teams, right? Now, how Kapil Dev transformed Indian
Mm,
team? It's an 11-member team. Yes or no?
exactly.
It's just
Correct.
11 people. He didn't transform
Correct.
thousands.
Yeah.
That is a power of the team. 1983, we won the World Cup, right? One of
Exactly.
the great leaders, right? In another example is Dhoni. His team is a high performing team, right? It is not that every match they won. 55% of the matches they won, 40 plus percentage, they still lost. Now, a leader should be open for these kind of things. Now, you are a leader of a team, which is a scrum master role. Do you know that you are supposed to transform the team like this? Right? Most of the scrum masters don't know. There are only very few people who know that my job is to make sure my team is high performing. Those who make at this side of it,
Exactly.
right, who are really good, they make tons of money. I'll give you a good technical person with a knowledge of AI and decent technical skill, getting into a scrum master role and then go up in the leader role. They probably earn more than a doctor. I will not tell you a number, right? Go figure out, right? They learn. There are a lot of professions, right? And doctors are, there's thousands of doctors out there. There are some surgeons earn millions. Yeah,
Correct.
that's the same thing is here also. Do you want to be this side where I will have a small place where I will just come between 4 and 6 and I'll do a consultation,
Uh,
or do I want to be this side where I'll also be a surgeon, right?
exactly. Exactly.
So you earn a lot of money, but not the entire crowd. So if the scrum master want to become that scrum master who is very successful, be very strong in scrum and agile, very 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 strong, that you throw all of these guys out and then you stand in the queue first. Number one, you become technical, you learn AI, how to use AI tools in your work, right? There are so many AI tools. AI is evolving every day, right? Every day it is changing. Now, are you ready for that? Like, do you know about AI? So if somebody wants to do that, if they go through this, their earning potential is much higher and they last in the industry for a longer time.
So like now we gonna shift to my favorite thing. How exactly we become a safety trainer? What exactly is safety?
Sure, sure.
We'll start with what exactly is
Sure,
safety.
sure. So Agile is all about one team. Scrum is all about one team. Right? Scrum is an agile framework. Scrum is all about one team. So when I say one team, it's a team of 5 or 6 or 10 people maximum working together. It's a in software side, it's a it's a software development or testing or design. All of these people work together and then build something, some features. Now this is an agile team. Now agile is a foundation, right? It's a fundamental. Every team in the organization should be agile. Now, SAFE is a scaled agile framework. What does it mean? We are scaling. 30 years back, 20 years back, a team of 6, 7, 8 people were able to build a product. Okay. Even today, if you see startups,
Mm,
startup is like 5, 7 people
mm,
build a product. But when they become successful, it is never five. Like Ola, for example, maybe 2, 3 people started.
yeah, I know.
Today, there are 1,500 people in Ani Technologies in Bangalore.
Yeah, exactly.
It is scaled.
Exactly.
And scaling uh, car manufacturing industry to reach 50 million customers, companies like Toyota, it took 50 years,
Exactly.
right? But a software company like Insta or of Facebook
Mm,
reached 50 million in 9 months.
exactly.
This is the speed of scaling today, right? That is a traditional scaling. Now the scaling, the definition of scaling itself is different. Now my product doesn't need just one team. My product needs 2,000 people. For example, I worked with with the teams like product teams like a CT scan machine, PET scan, MRI scan machine. I worked with a factory automation system. I worked with a robotic system, right? I worked with a car manufacturing like the brake system, steering system, right? The car infotainment system. So this all of this product, what I'm saying, is not a software alone. It is a hardware, firmware, software combination.
And you need to bring the complete team together, and
Every
that's
5,000, 3,000, 2,000 people working together for one product. Now, agile, I just cannot put agile in teams. Is agile required? My answer would be absolutely yes. Is agile enough? Absolutely no. Because agile Scrum is all about just a team.
exactly.
Scrum is about the team, right? Agility has to be scaled now. That is why this term called scaling agility is coined, right? Okay, let us scale our agility. Now, and why I'm saying that scaled is required? Because it's not only software, it is also hardware, firmware. It is a system, not a software, right? So you're using a car infotainment system. I touch a button. That button is a software. But when I touch the button and I'm configuring my brake system, right?
Mm,
I'm telling them my mission.
software and hardware both.
Yeah. Now I'm telling that, hey, brake system, you take over the control, right? If I don't drive well, you control. There are features now. Now the hardware knows, software knows that I have to apply the brake if the driver doesn't apply. Right
Exactly.
now, this is a system. Now I have worked with a system like this, like CT scan, MRI scan, and all this, where 2,000 people are working together. Now we have to think very different. We have to bring lean thinking, right? Lean organizations like Toyota has implemented great lean principles,
Yeah.
removal of waste, right? When the large people come, there is a lot of waste, right? And there's a lot of coordination issues, collaboration issues. This is where the SAFE helps a lot. SAFE brings in alignment across 2,000 people, right? So this is where I got so interested. While I'm a big fan of Agile because the foundation is Agile,
Exactly.
why I moved out of CST and why I became a SAFE trainer, right? And I became SPCT. I'm one of the 7 people in Asia who are certified as SPCT, Safe Practice Consultant Trainers. We are not only trainers, we are consultant trainers. We train the consultants, right? We coach the coach, we train the trainers, right? It's much more harder. So I wanted to pick up a complex problem. So I got into more safe, and it took a long time, right? I started implementing safe right from 2012, and then I became SPCT in 2022. So it's a lot of effort. Reading books and watching videos, going through experience, implemented safe is at least a dozen companies, right? It takes time, right?
People now people who are gonna say na, "Ki we are ready to work hard because now youths are the same. Sir, we are ready to work hard. We will give our 100%, but there is no surety, there is nothing that we can achieve. Now they should learn that you need to dedicate it. If you put regular effects
Hmm.
and you get onto this area, because if for example it's a mean language, people need to understand inside a company how to organize a team safely. ठीक है, sorry, for organizing a small team, getting
Agile.
into agile, but understand the company like Microsoft, the complete Microsoft,
Absolutely.
the complete Amazon, and the complete Google
Yeah.
can be transformed by a single person, which is a safe trainer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
We have done
pe-
that.
people are just thinking, I want to work for Google, I want to work for Amazon, I want to work for Microsoft, but they don't know if there is a position which can actually help this complete organization to transform, the complete company to transform,
Yeah.
which is very powerful,
Yeah.
because it's not just knowledge, but it's logic, psychology, understanding behavior, your knowledge, your practice, and how exactly you're gonna handle any kind of situation, because it's not easy.
Absolutely. I'll give you a case study. Yeah. The recent case study. One of the automotive industries, the companies, right, a very large enterprise of 100 plus years of experience in automotive space, they reached out to me for Agile, right? Everybody comes with Agile. Say, hey, we want to be Agile. The challenges are, then I got into the business agility challenges.
I'm just thinking which company is it.
So keep guessing,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Right. So this company reached out to me that we want to be agile. So then I asked certain questions about business agility, right? So, okay, what are your business agility challenges? Are you able to deliver to your customer when the customer wants? Remember tea example, morning tea,
Exactly,
right? You
exactly.
need tea milk at 6 a.m., not at 7:30. So are you delivering value to customer? Second is, are you delivering every time with high quality? Third, are you able to reduce the timeline? Because your competitors are much more faster today, right? There are companies in China, there are companies in Korea, they are releasing, like, see, 40 years back, there are only Ambassador and Fiat.
Exactly.
Today, Kia has got 26 models. Kia has got a competitor inside the company. And
Exactly.
you can imagine, the number of competitions, the competitors that are around you, there is somebody is going to beat you, right? First, we used Nokia, right? Nokia was
Mm.
a synonym of phone for in 2000s. You remember?
Got beaten up.
And where is Nokia today? It is there. But somebody who's silently sitting in one corner, building an Apple phone, right? Samsung, Android phones became number one today, right? So this is how the industry is evolving. So this company, I asked them 7, 8 questions. The answer was no for all of this, right? Then we said, okay, let us move a sample of 200 people, right? This is 7,000 member organization. We moved
Oh,
2,000 people, like 2023, 2024 times, and that 200 people that we moved initially, that gave very positive result. They made a customer release on time. They got a 10-year contract extended. Now the leadership got really stunned seeing this. Oh, this is the magic that Agile can do. Skill Agile, safe, right? We have implemented proper safe. Now, I recently spoke to the leaders. We moved 1,300 people there to safe.
I'm
Okay, in the
getting
last,
goosebumps now. Like,
yeah. So the
oh,
numbers are right crazy, right?
yeah.
Right. So me with a couple of very few more consultants, trainers, we did this, and it was possible, right? 1,300 people moved in recently. Now we have a roadmap for 7,000 people moving in the next 2 years. Right, organization is super excited because never in the past that they were able to manage business agility challenges like how we managed it first time in using safe. Now this is a power of agility, business agility. The power of business agility is also connected with the lean and agile thinking. The lean industry, manufacturing industry has got so much of expertise, so much of learnings, 100 years of learnings, right? Why do you want to build something from scratch? Learn from them. Industry has got so much. Toyota, you can learn. I visited factories several times. I just want to see how lean are they. They call themselves as lean, right? So if you see my company name, I kept name as Lean Wisdom. We want to give wisdom on lean to the world, right? We want to make sure organizations are very, very lean, right? They cut their costs. They're able to release faster, right? The organizations are too heavy today, too hefty that and cost is so high. lean thinking, agile thinking, AI way of working, bringing artificial intelligence, all of this will make the organization very, very thin.
People, I don't know whether people are able to understand this or not, but if you're understanding this, I'll put it in a very simple way. For example, if anybody is having 5 to 6 years of experience, the maximum he can become is a manager. Or like for example, 15 years, you're going to be a director of a company.
Very few. Most
Very
of
few.
most of them, even with the 20-25 years experience, I have seen project managers, um, program managers, or engineering managers,
Correct.
people managers. These are all the roles will go away soon.
Exactly.
In 5 years, write down. I'm telling you, come after 5 years. If it did that, if this doesn't happen, 5 years from now, 80% of the jobs will go away. 80% of the jobs will go away. Which means what? Is it that we're going to be jobless? No. When
We need to.
software came, people thought there will be a lot of job, no job cut, because the clerks will not have a job,
Exactly.
because the paperwork is not going to go away. It created more jobs.
Exactly.
AI will create more jobs, but only for those suitable people. Right? Lean will create only more jobs, only for those who are suitable. The rest will have a problem.
And I like what exactly I wanted to people to understand is people. This is big. This is crazy. Like my mind, what exactly is going on in my mind is like I can't explain right now. I am excited. People work 20, 25 years or 15 years for becoming a manager of a company. For example, Microsoft. We here are talking about you can transform the company itself
Yeah,
for 3,000, 5,000 people and you
exactly.
can become that person.
Yeah.
And that is crazy.
Yeah, the example I gave you, right? I had a choice of becoming a leader for 150 people versus being a servant leader, right? Be with the team, support the team, help them grow, right? See, the growth is. Uh, I'll give you another simple definition, right? I have grown to wherever I am is not because of GP as an individual. It is also because of the ecosystem. It is because of the community. If I would have been born in one of the poorest countries, I don't want to name anything. Do you think I would have become like this? No. It is also people around me. The country, India gave me opportunities.
Exactly.
Yes or no? The community, you will grow when the community grows.
Correct.
Now, a servant leader role is, right? If you want to become a servant leader, you make sure your team grows, you will grow. You
Exactly.
will grow. So when I stepped out of this, 140 member, 150 member organization leadership, I was able to transform 1,800 people. I was never a manager. I was never a director as a title and with a power, but my power was knowledge. My power was experience. My power was influential ability. My power was my hard working and talking to leaders and convincing. If I can do it, a guy who came from not even a tier 3 city, it's a town, right? Who could not speak proper English when he came to
Without
Bangalore
MBA.
without MBA, could not speak a good English, right? If I can do it, why not people today can do it? Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we're talking about like convincing the CEOs of these big
Yeah.
companies to transform
Yeah. Yeah.
7,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a half an hour meeting with the CEO of one of the companies, right? He was asking, what is, I don't know, I heard about something, you tell me what's about safe, right? Half an hour, right? And then he said, oh, he got curious. I said, sir, if you really want to know, half an hour is not enough. Are you ready to spend with me 4 hours? I'll take you much more deeper. He said, yes. That 4 hours meeting became 6 hours. He cancelled a few other meetings, extended for 6 hours. That meeting transformed 10,000 to 500 people almost. It's a Bangalore based company. It's a European based company. They have a huge setup in Bangalore. And 10,500 people transformed in the next 3 years because of that half an hour and 4 hours of meeting. Now, if so, am I a leader? By designation, I'm not. Am I a leader? Absolutely, yes, as a behavior.
Exactly.
Yes, right. And because I'm leading people in their change management, change, I'm changing their way of life. Right? The organization is changed. Right. The pleasure is so good. When I look back, I meet some of the leaders 5 years later. They said, "Wow, JP, it was so good." Right after you
I
came
guess
in.
the car company, by the way. I guessed it.
Okay.
I guess
Okay.
it's Toyota.
No,
Oh, the thing is, I'm not gonna
it's
get.
it's it's another one which is equally of the same size. Maybe I'll
Oh,
offline. I'll tell you.
sure, sure,
I
sure.
signed the contract, so I should not
Bro,
be
close,
telling that.
close the cameras. So, like, one of the biggest thing, I know people are still not gonna understand this, but few people who are watching, and if they really understand what exactly, I literally got goosebumps right now because you're not understanding what exactly I'm talking about. It is someone coming from tier 3 city, no MBA, no English, and you guys, everyone, build their entire life. Like, I want to be a what? Manager, Microsoft, CEO, Google. We are talking about here to becoming a person who is required in the industry to transform the complete company of 7,000, 8,000 people, which
Yeah,
is not easy.
yeah,
You can't manage seven people. You should question yourself. Everybody should question themselves. The people who are right now talking about ki bro, I have given my 3 years, 4 years, I'm not getting promoted as a manager, and questioning the company, they should question themselves.
yourself. You are question about your comfort zone. Are
Exactly.
you ready to break your comfort zone? Every time you are in a comfort zone, you should move out, right? I left Intel. 3 months I was sitting at home. My wife was asking, "So what are you up to?" I said, I was very comfortable. My manager, when I resigned, Intel, he said, "JP, you could have retired here, right? Because it's a great company. I was a
Exactly.
top performer, right? You could have retired." I said, this is exactly the point I want to move out because I don't want to think about my retirement, right? I'm young enough that I want to really do something more. But look back last 10 years, it was a wow, right?
I'm getting chills.
Yeah. So it's very important that we challenge ourselves, right? As somebody with 3 5 years experience, if you don't challenge yourself now, when will you challenge? When will you come out of your comfort zone? Continuously you have to move out of your comfort zone, right? And the world, because world is moving that fast.
I guess everyone in this industry, like 1 year or 2 years of experience, man, they should get into this training. They should at least observe and know, because this is going to change your mindset. Key, what exactly is the company, how things get transformed. Because not for even getting into the industry, but understanding this is going to change your way of thinking, your behavior. You're going to be a better person, better manager, better understanding. You're going to respect everyone.
Yeah,
And the thing is, the most important, you're going to respect yourself, because that is very important.
yeah.
I know still a lot of people are gonna stuck into the simple thing. Bro, how much a safety consultant and trainer earns, So I know, for that, it's gonna be like, I guess, more than the CEO of Google, I guess.
No, 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 no. But it is definitely it's a good career to make. Absolutely, right? Because it's a hard to become that reach there. A lot of effort is required. The effort. See, there is a. I read this definition of luck. What is luck?
Mm,
Right? Luck is nothing but,
hard work and a chance.
yeah, exactly. Your continuous hard work, a silent hard work that was not visible, with the great opportunity that you get. A preparation meets an opportunity. A
Exactly.
long preparation meets an opportunity is a luck. No, nobody is lucky just like that, right?
You keep on hard working, then one day you will get a chance.
Exactly. Take a step today, right? You want to know, you need to learn, right? You need to challenge yourself. You need to know that to, so there is another framework to move from inefficiency to efficiency. I'm inefficient, I want to become efficient. First step is moving from unconscious inefficiency to a conscious inefficiency. And I know that I don't know this. I know that I have this issue with me, right? I have to learn this, right? I have to change myself. I have to come out of my comfort zone. Now, constantly do that. Be in this space that I'm always consciously inefficient. I know. Move to consciously efficient. Okay, let me learn. Let me try this. Let me practice this with my team of 7 people, 6 people. Let me, even if I'm not a scrum master, I'm not a project manager. Let me go suggest this. Let me do this. Try out. Designation doesn't come just like that. Do the role and then it comes, right? They're given. So now move from here to constant inefficiency, right? Right? Unknown to known inefficiency, to know, from known inefficiency to known efficiency. I know that I am becoming efficient. At some point in time, it will become part of your every cell of your body, right? It will become unconscious efficiency. So we need to move towards it. For that, you need to identify. For most important step here is the first to second. Do I know what, where is the problem for me? Do I know what to do, right, to become that? And am I ready for it? If you take that step, mind is so powerful that the whole world listens to you, the universe listens to you. Whatever you want, good or bad, right?
Mm,
So decide that this is what I want to be 3 years from now. I want to be this, right? I attended one of the trainings, right? It's a leadership program. And I had a leadership coach who asked me, he gave me, uh, we had a 2 hours of future creation meeting. It was called as a future creation. He said, stay silent for 2 hours, write down all that you want in future. So I wrote three parts. What is my future in professional side? What is my future in personal side? What is my future 5, 7 years from now? How do I live my life in professionally, personally, and socially? I'm a social animal. I'm part of this ecosystem. I also need to do something there, right? So
mm,
now three parts. The moment I wrote this 7 years or 10 years, I said, this leader asked me, why not 2 years? I said, no, it is not possible, right? This was in 2015 when I moved out of Intel. He said, no, it is 10 years, it's not possible. He said, who says? Who says it's not
mm,
possible? You are saying or the universe is saying? I mean, if you say so, universe will also say.
mm.
Now, he said, cut it to 2 years. I cut that into 3 years, right? Like not not 2 years, but I said, okay, let me do 3 years. I actually achieved more than 70% of that what I wrote in less than 3 years. Now, what we define for ourselves matters a lot, right? That's why I said this in a group of 1,000 people, you will see 100 people, 10% of that who are lazy, don't want to do, and it's always there. It's a community, right? It's how you will see another some maybe 10 percentage who are on top of it. They become CEOs, they become vice presidents, they become the best, right? It's not that they just like that get a luck is the long preparation, yeah. So silently they do it, the rest stays here, the rest
This
is
spiritual and universe talk is better than Ranveer Alabadia podcast. This is relatable.
yeah. Defining your career is also important, that if I want to stay there, am I getting prepared for that? Am I there? Am I doing what did I do today so that I became that 3 years from now, 5 years from now?
Because what I see right now, everybody, like from freshers to mid workers to 5 to 6 year experience, everybody is complaining.
Mm,
Man, if you guys just stop complaining
yeah,
and start your research,
yeah,
go inner yourself
yeah,
and justify and start hard working.
yeah.
Why exactly you have to be dependent on government? Why exactly you have to depend on any company to give you something?
Absolutely.
Because these are the kind of leadership thing, like people and a company doesn't need you to be in. You can be prepared for all of this, right? And the next thing is, like, people needs to understand, freshers needs to understand, working professional needs to understand that they need to focus, they need to learn, they need to continuously evolve. If you are into a job position, for example, I always follow this rule. If I am, for example, into sales job and I don't like my job but I want to become operations, but first I'm going to be perfect in my sales first.
Absolutely.
Whatever the job I'm going to get, stop criticizing and become best in it.
Exactly.
Once you are best in it, then think about something else, what
Absolutely.
exactly you really want.
Absolutely.
People just complain.
Yeah. I'll give you another perspective, right? 2050 or 2040, sometime 40 to 50, India will become the superpower. India will become. I'm 100% sure. The way 20 years back and now, do we see a difference? Absolutely. Right? 10 years back, when I was traveling in some of the countries, I used to see, wow, man, no, their railway system is so good. I traveled at least some 20 countries, right? 20, 25 countries in the last 20 years in my career. And uh, why India is like this, right? When the moment you come back, it's dirty, it's not developed, politicians are this and that. Today you see it is a transforming company, right? It's an organization which is in a big transformation. No other country is transforming like how we are growing. We are like a corporate transforming big time, right? If it goes like this, 2040, 2050, we'll become the best in the world. We are the superpower. Are you ready to live in a superpower country? Are you going to contribute to that? Are
I
you
don't
ready?
know how many people understood this, just what exactly you said. it's a very big statement. People, I don't know whether people understood or not, but you think about your position, your project, then there are few people who think about the company and the another company. They take it at a individuality and two different parameters.
Absolutely, absolutely,
You said the complete India is one industry, and like it's about like one company is there. Like for example, 7,000 people are there. We need to move them from a framework. Now, India, if India is an industry, there are billions of people,
yeah,
and and we need to move this.
yeah. And that 65 percentage of the country is youngsters.
Exactly.
So the country is going to be the superpower because of these youngsters, not because of me. Yeah, I'm not that powerful resource now for the country because I'm already 50. The people who need to take this country to that are the people who are listening to this, right? Now,
Exactly.
do you know that you are that responsible? If you want to be a leader, you have to think like that.
I think Modi ji is also a safety trainer. I'm
He is
thinking.
the CEO of the country, right? You see you see how a CEO can transform,
Yeah,
right? Transformation is going on, and it will take. See, 0 to 1 and 1 to 100 for any company. A company moving from 0 to 1 is much more harder than 1 to 100.
exactly.
The scaling will happen. Now we have moved from 0 to 1 now. This 1 to 100 will happen like this in the next 15 years, 20 years. Now, are you ready as an individual to take up this? Right? India, now you hear about, okay, Chat GPT, you hear about Deep Seek. Do you know how much of work is going on in India about AI?
Yeah.
The revolution is going to be here, right? Are you part of that? Right? I have met a couple of AI leaders, right? Amazing people that I get goosebumps when I meet them because they read 8 hours a day. A friend of mine who's like of my experience, 25 plus years of experience, and he tells me that JB, I read almost 6 to 8 hours a day. I spend 8 hours a day, even today. Why? Because that much I need to spend for me to live and guide my organization. Right? It will take us so somewhere. Yeah, an individual, a corporate, the country, everything will go up. Right? We just need to realize. And that population, the country is also not growing because of 100% of the people. It is also always is 10, 20% of the people who's taking the organization to the best. Yes or no? Now, there are the best IAS officers, there are the best leaders, best politicians are the ones who are taking us there. And why can't we be one of those in the corporate?
I have a mindset now, and I have made a statement now in my mind, which I guess it's very finished. I guess everybody should be a safety expert, and they should learn agile, because everybody should take a responsibility to consider their state or whatever places they have been
Mhm.
and transform the place, because this can be a social experiment. Okay, fine, nobody is giving you a chance in a company. You want to apply safety, apply surrounding you, right?
Yeah,
You live in any state,
yeah.
and if you transform your specific place, for example 4 kilometers of people or 5 kilometers of people, and if every youngster, because 60% of the people are youngster, if everybody transform their state, they transform their country,
Mindset
that's
changes.
mindset.
Yeah. So the
And
mindset changes, right? It will change your personal life also. I have my personal agile board, my personal Kanban board where I use for my own unit home, right?
this is
Because it's a
crazy.
mindset. It's a change that you bring for yourself, and then you drive your organization, and you start living that world, right? You start living those words, living that space throughout your life, right? And that will take you a long way. Your thinking changes, right? When I talk to the see, imagine an organizations have great leaders, the CEOs, CFOs, see all the CXOs. How come we are not able to release a product on time? And people like me need to go support because we are trained to think in a very different way.
I can see
They,
that.
those leaders are great. I met fantastic CXOs, right? I've learned tons of things. Every time I meet people, I get paid as a consultant, even from learning from them. right? If you're a CEO and I come to your company, I learn tons of things from you, but equally you learn tons of things from me because I am trained to think in some way and I train you to think in that way. I coach you to think in that way. So what happens is your organization looks at from business agility, right? Oh, okay, I need to evolve my people. I need to train my people. I need to coach my people. I need to think of business agility. I need to be living as an agile organization. That is missing today. They are so good in, they're all probably some of the CXOs I met, they are from best of the universities like Harvard or, you know, and but they struggle because they are not trained on this. So that's the power of this world, right? So the people here that you guys can be like me transforming your company. If you take Indian freedom, 75-year-old story or
Mm,
150-year-old story, right? It is not that the entire India transformed. Maybe a dozen leaders
mm.
who decided that I will get the freedom for this country. If what if they wouldn't have thought? Do you think you'd have got freedom? You'd have been still in colony. Yes or no?
Now I feel like if I just order something food from Zomato, also that is also agile.
Absolutely agile.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you order in Zomato, you order in
Thinking.
Swiggy. Which one delivers 15 seconds earlier? That
Exactly.
is business agility. Your customer has to be satisfied. So this is the thinking that we bring. It is not just a process. It is not just doing some sprinting. It is about your thinking about delivering value to customer when the customer wants, not when I can. Now you are going to transform your team, your organization. It's a lot of work, but the pleasure that you get at the end of the journey when you do is so happy. See the money that I earned, Nitesh, like the last 10, 15 years, the money goes. I have EMI, I have school fees to pay, I have travel expenses to take care of, right? I have a lot of other things, right? What stays with me is the success stories that, oh, I transformed when I worked with Siemens, when I worked with Bosch, when I worked with Intel, when I worked with eBay, Target. Oh, this is the kind of results we got. Till my last breath, that will stay with me. Yes or no? Is that not important for a human? Absolutely yes. Right? So we need to drive ourselves as leaders, right? Futuristic leaders, we need to drive ourselves that if these emotions take you a very long way, right? People don't work just for money. I can actually retire now if I want to. I don't work just for money, right? Why I still work? Because there is something that I can contribute to the world, right? And this is how we need to drive our people, our the next generations.
I It's a lot of things are good. Like
I'm
something like we
pouring.
were just. Are you feeling like uh, we were doing things, but we didn't knew what exactly we were doing it for. But suddenly that motive can figure out.
Purpose.
Exactly. And I guess 90% of the people are blank this side.
Yeah, exactly. See, the future is empty. You live in the past.
Oh
This is
yes.
a problem. Yeah, you start cribbing. Oh, yesterday this happened. Day before yesterday that happened. That manager did not do it. Don't live in your future. Decide. Don't live in your past. Look at your future and live your present for the future. Like the leaders, maybe a dozen leaders decided that India got freedom. I have heard the black and white videos, watching videos where some of these leaders, I'll not name, right? But no, the great leaders who got freedom, they declared in 1905 that India got freedom. The statement was past tense. It was a grammatically error statement, but they were living that future. Are you living the future? There is a so I don't know whether you read this book by Tendulkar. He's written his book, right? His
Yeah,
autobiography.
yeah, exactly.
In this, one of the matches he was playing against, I think it's Pakistan, where the previous night he had some food and he had a diarrhea, right? Whole night. Next day he had to play. He had to play the match. It's a very crucial match, and he's a star player. Tendulkar was God,
Yeah,
yeah, for us.
yeah,
Even today, he's like that for us, right?
exactly.
He's a great leader, right? He's a great, you know, a persona to go behind, right? So what he the morning he declared that India won the match today, which is futuristic, and then he came to the ground. He went to the during his batting. He went 5 or 6 times to the dressing room to change the diaper. He played with the six diapers. He scored 100 plus, and India won the match. This is the power of thinking. Now, this is exactly what I build with people in my very long training. See, it's very important to build this kind of thinking that every cell of my body changes. Right? I became a leader. I became a very responsible person. Agile Scrum, you will learn. It's easy. How do I
Exactly.
put this? How do I drive myself in a bigger context? What context am I defining? Is context only myself? Or is context my team? Is context my organization? Is context my country? Now, how do you want to define it? Take it forward, right? So we need. This is exactly what I we address in a training, that change yourself, and I give hundreds of examples in the training, like how I changed. I learned from some people, and how I failed, and today wherever we are has taken there, and I'm not stopping. I'm still running. I may run for 10 more years minimum, right? That is a power that I think, mind is so powerful.
So one of the statement that you're gonna say or advice that you wanna really give to the people who are still in college, and one of the advice that you wanna give to the people who are already in the industry but 1 to 2 years they are on the timeline, and one advice for the people that are into the industry for 4 5 years now.
Hmm.
So let's start with like people who are still in the college. So what are the advice?
So uh, this entire community is going to transform India, right? As I told you,
Exactly,
right? It's in your hand. Yeah,
because the people
we
who are in
hand
the
it over to
college,
you. You take care now.
because people who are at the college right now, they're
At the
gonna
2050, what will be their age?
oh
Do you see that? Like,
exactly,
there will be like around maybe 40, 50s, right? And they'll be of my age, right?
exactly,
Around late 40s or something like that. That's a because of them, the country is going to change. Now, ch- change yourself, adapt yourself. Cribbing. I've seen a lot of Gen Zs now. Like, sometimes they like the language is a little more casual, a little more restless, and things like that. I don't blame Gen Zs, because I believe that today's Gen Zs are going to transform our country. Many times there is a lot of negative opinion about that, but it is not true, because I strongly believe they are going to transform. So it is not their problem. It is also that how we shape them, right?
exactly,
What message we are giving? How do I what message I give to my kids is how my kids are going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now,
exactly,
right? It's important that we give that message. So if you are in college, I would suggest you need to be a multi-skilled, right? 80% of the jobs will go away, which means 80% of the new jobs will come. My father did not know my job. My father had
that's
a
so
shop. My
true.
father had a very small shop. I was also working the shop part time, helping my father way back, right? In a small town. And when I came to software, like during COVID time, my father saw me sitting and working in the laptop, right, with the laptop. So he saw me and said, "But you said you're working. You're not working." For him, work means physical work. You have to go around, buy things, sell it, shop, right?
Yeah,
I told him, no, this is my work. He could not understand, right? In 10 years from now, you and I will get into a state where we won't understand what is the work. Industry will change like that. 80% of jobs go away, which means 80% of the new jobs will come. Are you ready for it? Or are you going to crip? Are you with me? Right? So I'm going to change. I'm going to learn. The AI is the future. I'm going to learn AI. Right? I'm going to spend my time on it. I'm going to connect with people. I'm going to be in the conferences. I'm going to be right. Every day I'll eat, drink, sleep, learn.
and like one of the thing that people who are already working right now, like 1 to 2 years of experience.
Yeah. So focus on your technical ability, definitely. Right. Don't come away. Don't decide to completely leave your technical ability. Just become a people management, project management. Jobs are going away. Right. There is a big mid-career crisis right now. Right. When I say mid-career crisis, people who are with 15, 20 years experience right now are going through a big change. Right.
Mm,
They are not the. I know people who lost the job 1 year back, still could not find a job till today. They are jobless at home. I have recently spoke to another person. He was crying, right? And he's a project manager in a very reputed company. One fine day, that company decided to lay off, right? People lost job because he did not upgrade his skills, right? He was relaxing and enjoying. Today he's suffering. It's too late. So if you are 1 2 years experience, even to 5 4 5 years experience, right? You need to be technical, right? Technical doesn't mean, okay, I know a programming language, I know Java, it's good enough. No, it is not. It's not enough, because you don't know 5 years from now what is going to come. In fact, there is a no code platform today, right? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there is no developer job, software development job, because the system is running, right? So recently I read an article where the top seven the best programmers in the world, one of that is the AI tool, right? I
Mm,
read it. I don't know how true it
right.
is, but I believe it must be true, because AI is so fast. Now, 5 years from now, the top 100 will be only AI. It will
Exactly.
overtake human. Now, how are you going to manage AI is your ability. Now, are you ready to manage those tools? Which are AI? Which are AI tools? Now, are you getting into that space of learning AI thoroughly? I mean, and AI is going to evolve. Like how car manufacturing industry evolved from a stage where, you know, a driver had to be a mechanic. Today, driver just need no don't even have to know the gear.
Yeah, just
It's
put in.
auto gear.
Yeah.
All that I need is a brake,
Yeah.
accelerator, steering. That's it. Evolved. Now, now we are in the very early stage of AI era. Are you ready to learn and then go with that? Are you ready to transform this, yourself, your team, your company, your country? You have a beautiful future. This country will give you a exponential opportunity, because the country is growing, community
I
is growing.
I hope Modi ji is seeing this. Actually,
I'm very proud
uh,
that, uh, I live in this country, not in a very developed country, because developed countries are facing problems today. They will face more problems. It'll become political if I go deep, but
okay,
I'll leave it
no
there.
politics.
But India is going to grow much, much bigger. So this community of 1, 2, 3, 5 years experience have a lot to do. If you shape yourself, you will grow. You'll go heights, right? Amazing career. If you don't, you will also be out of the industry.
So you just need to keep learning and learning.
Absolutely,
And so
absolutely.
like still, I know what kind of comments are gonna go after. Okay, sir, okay, fine, we got the problem. Now just give me the solution. So I like already have talked to sir, and I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. He is so much involved into the work right now, and because he knows he only works along transformation of big companies and people like CXO, CSO. Like I was having word with him yesterday, and I'm convincing him, sir, please give at least like 1 to 2 slots or something, so we can do something for people. Because I know you guys are like literally filling up my DM, like, sir, what exactly is the option? What should I do? I literally convinced him, like, sir, please do something. Can we do something for the people who are 4 to 5 years experience, for the people who are 1 to 2 years of experience, for freshers also? We were having discussions. The sir was like, freshers are having few problems that is genuine. And I always say this, like, you guys are over panic and you try to find solutions everywhere, but this is not how things work, right? Because past the line, you're going to understand that it is your responsibility to grow. Not anyone can help you out to do it. Even if like 100 people, find 100 people go to IITs, only 1 to 2 get selected in Microsoft and Amazon. Not even
Absolutely.
100 find.
Yeah, yeah.
And you guys not even went to like IITs. There is like tier 2, tier 3 college, and then expecting you're gonna transfer. It's not gonna take one day, because what exactly you have loosened not to get into IIT? You have to spend 2 to 3 years to make that even. I'm not saying it's not possible, but you have to learn even now. You have to
Yeah,
make it even.
yeah,
Then only it's gonna help you out. Second thing is, I have already requested him. He's gonna tell ki what exactly like we can do for you guys. Uh, and please, this is gonna be a single time opportunity, because the availability is really less, and obviously he has plenty of things going on. Still, I have requested him for doing something out of it. So it is gonna be one time chance. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Okay, and I am gonna leave it to Sir, like what exactly we can do,
yeah.
right?
So those who want to be leaders, we have a great program, like AI Scrum Master Bootcamp, where I personally have defined it, I designed it, because I wanted to enable these people to be a great. Now I said about multiple things. One is about having a solid domain skills on agile side of it, right? Be very strong in agile, right? That's what is going to take us much more faster. We have to be agile, right? Yesterday I was watching an interview how our prime minister operates. Prime minister doesn't set a goal that you have to reach that mountain. Prime minister says first peak point, second peak, third peak, fourth peak. He sets 15 peaks. I was like, wow, this man is agile, so agile, right? So now I understand thoroughly agile. So I've defined this program that 32 hours of my teaching or equivalent of mine. There are great consultants we have. We don't have any trainer who's just a trainer. We have all who have solid experience. Those who do a surgery in the organization, they come as a professor here, right? So we want to handle people and teach them thoroughly what is agility, right? Understand the role of scrum master. How do you going to transform? What's your leadership ability that you need to focus on, right? And then case studies, all of this, right? And then we also defined and 16-hour a very special program on AI for these leaders, for for a scrum master, product owner kind of community, where learn how to use the tools, how to use prompting, how to use gpt chat gpt, how to do a great sprint planning, backlog refinement, daily stand up review, retrospective, using AI tools. Your AI tool should be your co-facilitator. You are a facilitator, AI is a co-facilitator. You are a coach, AI is a co-coach, right? Supports you, and that supports you so much that your life can be beautiful. 99% of the scrum masters have no idea about it, and they think it is not my job, right? What happens is that is where you can go fill. One fine day, organizations will look at it and you are ready, right? So we have defined, kind of designed a 16-hour course on AI for scrum masters with with a bunch of tools and techniques and, right, hundreds of prompts that they can learn and so on, with projects, case studies, and all, and so on. And then I am also going to do group coaching, group interviewing, where I bring a group of people in my class and say that I'll do one-on-one interview. Others watch. If you go through an interview, are you ready for it? See, having a certificate like a Scrum or a Safe certificate, even as I'm a Safe certified, my certificate is a gate pass for me to enter the company. For
Mm,
me to stay there, it is my skill.
exactly.
Nobody bothers about whether I'm SPCT or not. Does this guy know?
Mm,
Can he solve my problem? Some of the CEOs don't even know what is SPCT. In fact, that I'm working with them for 2 years, 3 years, they don't even know the certificate. But the certificate has helped because he's one of the top seven people in Asia. Okay, I think he must be good. Okay, let him come inside the company. First step. Once I go there, it is my ability, my skills, my experience matters. So now we want to handle people to do a good interview with solid case studies, so they understand and go confident that yes, I can solve this problem, right? Number three, right? So we are going to support in that. Fourth is I want to do some mentoring also over a period, right? If they in real life, okay, I got a job, or I moved to this role, right? I have these problems, right? Okay, come to the call, right? We'll do a weekly call, and then you guys come in, ask me questions, I can support you, right? So we want to help people in this way so that their career goes much more faster. See, it depends on how fast your vehicle runs is based on the engine.
mm,
If I put that 30-year-old Fiat engine, my
mm,
right, even a Benz car will move at some speed, right? The
exactly.
power is not in a seat. The power is in the engine. Now I want to polish this engine, right? As called ability. That ability, if you polish, they can take it forward, right?
You are getting more than enough. I'm telling you. So all exactly you can do is like, i have I have listed search company also. So even like people who are experienced, who can just go, and what are the certifications, something that you really want to check, you can check there. Plus I have like put in a form beneath. So there you can fill up your details, right? And your experience and whatever the thing that I have mentioned in the form, and you can submit that form. So when once we get the data, then I'll just like send it to sir, and like they can just like organize all the, because you need to sort things out, because the data is going to be mixed, right? Years of experience or whatever, according to that will help you out.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So this program is close to 100 hours of program, right? So, unlike a certification course, which is just a 16 hours, 15 hours training, and then you are let go, right? And then here, the 100 hours I want to spend, or we as a team want to spend with the candidate, because that takes that long, right? So be ready for a rigor. Yeah, it's important, right?
Exactly.
That's what is going to take you forward. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's something that I brought you in between of this current situation, which is like full chaotic, and everybody is just in the Instagram is telling you do this, do that, that I'm working. I have given you an insight and a platform and a position and options in the job market that nobody knows and talks about. The problems and a vision and a new career path to lead to. A thing which nobody knows in the market because nobody talks about it. Being a leader is not just like walking, practicing, and becoming a manager in that. It's like all in your behavior, as we talked about, right? So that was the complete wayframe. We're gonna have a final word from sir, and then we're gonna wind it up. So you have the final word for the complete experience and what exactly you wanna describe from your inner self. Like ki this is what I want everybody to learn and the statement that should stay with them for life.
Have a constant sense of urgency in life, in a positive way, right? It's important that we need to have that urgency in life, that I'm never settled. It's okay, right? It's not a negative way that, oh, urgency means it's always urgent. It's about having a positive way of looking at, I can be better than what I'm today, right? And what is that, right? That urge to and have a constant sense of urgency, continuous learning, will take us a long way. Career is not 2 years, 3 years, right? Career is 30 years, right? When you retire, you'll realize that, oh man, it's 35 years, right? It's 27 years for me, and I'm thinking of another 10 more years. So career is 30 plus years. Now, you need to build the foundations very strong, right? And that has to come from that urgency, right? So I would tell you guys, if you want to be great, be urgent, have that sense of urgency, have that constant learning. Continuous learning is the way to go, and that'll take you a long way.
And this was not just the end. Every month we're gonna do this conversation because I have specially taken this 3 months of thing. I was like, sir, 3 months continuously because there are a
Absolutely.
lot of things because you can't cover up everything. This was just an overall session. Now we next session we even have to talk about, bro, like we were talking about CST, SAFE, now
Yeah,
people are gonna be like in the comment how I can become right.
why
So
not?
we need a different perspective because that's going to cover up very basic that basic things are not going to be helping you out. The specific direction, specific roadmaps, how things are getting done, where exactly you have to read it from, how exactly you have to get it ready, how the certification process work, how exactly you can land it up in that's a long way. So it's still couple of more things are going to come and couple of more things are there on the live track. So subscribe, be with it. I've also attached. I have personally made his Instagram also. So if you want to go and DM him, and like want to ask some questions, so you can just like it's there in the description section. You can go and ask him. Till then, bye bye, and it was a great experience. B.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. It was great. Right? I
Uh,
truly enjoyed. All the
yeah.
best for you guys.